My girlfriend told me she's pregnant, but the timeline doesn't add up, and now she's refusing to take another test. I, 32M, have been with my girlfriend Emma, 29F, for about 2 years. Things have been pretty good overall. We moved in together 6 months ago, talked about marriage eventually, the whole 9 yards. But something happened last week that's completely messing with my head, and I don't know what to do. Emma told me she's pregnant, 8 weeks pregnant. She seemed really happy about it, showed me a positive test, and immediately started talking about baby names and whether we should move somewhere bigger. I was shocked, but honestly kind of excited. We hadn't been actively trying, but we weren't being super careful either. I figured, okay, this is happening, we're doing this. But here's where it gets strange. 8 weeks ago, I wasn't even in the same state as Emma. I was in Florida for work, a month-long project that got extended. I left on February 10th and didn't come back until March 15th. Emma knows this because she drove me to the airport, complaining the whole way about how long I'd be gone. When I first saw the positive test, I was too stunned to do math. It was only later that night, lying in bed, that I started counting backwards. 8 weeks would put conception right in the middle of when I was gone. I tried to convince myself maybe she had the weeks wrong, maybe it was actually 6 weeks or something, but she had been specific. She'd already looked up due dates online and had a whole list of things she wanted to do before the end of the first trimester. The next morning, I brought it up as casually as I could. Hey, so 8 weeks, that would be mid-February, right? I was in Florida then. Emma got defensive immediately. It's not an exact science. These things can be off by a week or two. Stop trying to do math like you're some kind of doctor. I'm not trying to accuse you of anything. I'm just confused about the timeline. She started crying, full-on tears. I can't believe you right now. I tell you we're having a baby and your first instinct is to question whether it's yours? What kind of person does that? I felt terrible. I apologized, held her, told her I was just confused and stressed. She calmed down, but things have been tense since. Here's the other thing that's been bothering me. A few days after I got back from Florida in March, Emma had what she said was a really bad period. She was in bed for a whole day with cramps, going through supplies constantly. She asked me to pick up extra-strength painkillers. I had to go to 3 different stores to find the specific brand she wanted. When I mentioned this recently, she got angry again. That wasn't a period, that was implantation bleeding. Google it if you don't believe me. It can be really heavy sometimes. I did look it up. Everything I found said implantation bleeding is typically light spotting, not a full heavy period. But I'm not a doctor. I suggested she see an OB/GYN to get a proper dating ultrasound, framing it as about making sure everything was developing okay, getting proper prenatal care. She said she'd already made an appointment, but it wasn't for 3 weeks because her doctor was booked. I offered to pay for a private clinic so she could be seen sooner, and she lost it. Why are you so desperate to prove me wrong? Why can't you just be happy? Other guys would be excited about becoming a father, but you're acting like I committed some crime. I tried to explain that I just wanted to make sure she was healthy, that early prenatal care matters, but she wasn't hearing it. She said I was being controlling and paranoid. Then I found something that made everything worse. I was putting away laundry and found a bunch of pregnancy tests shoved in the back of Emma's underwear drawer, at least 10 of them. Some positive, some negative, some hard to read. The dates on the boxes ranged from January to now. Why would she have so many, and why were some from January if she just found out she was pregnant? When I asked, she said she'd been suspicious for a while that something was off with her cycle and had been testing on and off. The negative ones were from before she was actually pregnant. The positive ones were from the past couple weeks as she kept testing to confirm it was real. That kind of made sense, but also felt off somehow. I also noticed she'd been protective of her phone, taking it to the bathroom with her, flipping it face down on the table whenever she put it down. When I asked to use it to order food one night because mine was charging upstairs, she got strange about it and said she'd just order on hers instead. My buddy Jake came over while Emma was at her sister's place. I told him everything. He was quiet for a long time, then said, "Man, you need to figure this out before you're on the hook for child support, just saying." I got pissed at him. It's not about that. If it's my kid, I want to be there. I want to be a dad. He said, I know, but what if it's not? What if she's trying to trap you because she messed up? I kicked him out, but his words haven't left me since. I don't want to be the paranoid boyfriend who demands a paternity test and destroys his relationship over nothing, but I also can't ignore basic biology. The math doesn't work, and her reactions when I bring it up feel like deflection rather than clarification. I tried once more this morning. I sat her down and said, Emma, I love you. I want this to work, but I need you to help me understand the timeline because I'm really confused and it's eating me up. She looked at me for a long moment. I thought maybe she was going to open up, explain everything, put my mind at ease. Instead, she said, if you can't trust me, then maybe we shouldn't be together. Maybe you should just leave. I don't want to leave. I want to understand. There's nothing to understand. I'm pregnant. It's yours. Either you believe me or you don't, but I'm not going to keep defending myself to you like I'm on trial. We've barely spoken since then. She's been sleeping in the guest room, and then this morning something else happened. I was making coffee when Emma's phone buzzed on the counter. She was in the shower. The notification preview showed a text from an unsaved number. Have you told him yet? We need to talk about this. I stared at that message for a long time. I didn't unlock the phone. I didn't snoop further, but I couldn't unsee it. When Emma came out of the shower, I asked, who's texting you about telling me something? Her face went completely white. She recovered fast, maybe too fast. She grabbed the phone, glanced at it, then laughed. It sounded forced. That's my sister. We've been planning a surprise birthday thing for you, and she's asking if I told you about the date change. Don't ruin your own surprise. My birthday isn't for 4 months. My birthday's in September, I said. Yeah, we're planning way ahead this year. It's going to be big. Now you've made it awkward. She walked away before I could respond, phone clutched to her chest. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like I'm drowning. Is there a way to approach this that doesn't make me a complete asshole? Should I just insist on going to the doctor's appointment with her? Should I wait until after the ultrasound? Or am I being paranoid and ruining the best thing that's ever happened to me? I just needed to write this out somewhere because I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. After everyone's advice about going to the doctor's appointment, or I tried to, after I posted, I decided I needed to be more direct. I waited until Emma got home from work and said, I want to come to your doctor's appointment. I want to be involved in this pregnancy from the start. She seemed surprised but not angry. She said, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'll let you know the details. But the next morning, I woke up to Emma already dressed and heading out the door at 8:47 a.m. Where are you going? Doctor's appointment. It's today. I thought I told you. You just told me about it yesterday. You said it was in 3 weeks. No, the follow-up is in 3 weeks. This is the first appointment. I definitely told you it was today. She absolutely did not tell me it was today, but she was already grabbing her keys. Wait, I'll come with you. Give me 2 minutes. You don't have time. It's at 9:15 and it's a 20-minute drive. I'm already going to be late. Then we'll both be a few minutes late. I'm coming. She looked frustrated but nodded. I threw on jeans and a shirt, and we got in the car. The drive was silent. She kept checking her phone. We got to the medical building at 9:22. Emma led me up to the 3rd floor and down a hallway to a dentist's office. I stopped. Why are we at a dentist? Emma turned around. Oh, wrong floor. The OB is on the 2nd floor. I always mix them up. We went down to the 2nd floor. She walked purposefully to a door that said Women's Health Associates. That seemed legitimate. We walked in, and Emma went to the receptionist. Hi, I have an appointment. Emma Caldwell. The receptionist checked her computer. I don't see you on the schedule for today. What time was your appointment? Emma's face flushed. 9:15. I made it about 3 weeks ago. The receptionist clicked around. I'm not seeing it. Let me check with the back. She disappeared through a door. Emma wouldn't look at me. She was staring at a poster about prenatal vitamins. The receptionist came back. Did you get a confirmation call? We don't have any record of an appointment for you today. The next available is May 14th, about 2.5 weeks out. Emma's hands were shaking. There must be some mistake. I definitely made an appointment. Would you like to schedule one now? I stepped in. Yes, May 14th is fine. Can you put me down as accompanying her? Of course. In the car, Emma started crying. I don't understand. I was sure it was today. I wrote it down and everything. Can I see where you wrote it down? It's in my phone. I must have put the wrong date. I'm so stressed I'm mixing things up. When we got home, I said, Emma, I need you to be honest with me. Are you actually pregnant? Yes. Jesus Christ, why won't you believe me? Then let's go get a blood test today. Any urgent care or LabCorp? A quantitative HCG test will tell us exactly how far along you are. She stared at me. You really don't trust me at all. I want to, I'm trying to, but nothing is adding up and you keep what? Keep being a confused pregnant woman? Keep not living up to your investigation standards? Emma, if you're pregnant, a blood test will prove it. If you're as far along as you say, it'll prove that too. Why won't you just do it? Because I shouldn't have to prove anything to you. You should just believe me. We went in circles for another 20 minutes. Finally, I said something I probably shouldn't have, but I was exhausted and had no patience left. Was there someone else? When I was in Florida, did something happen? The look on her face. I've never seen her look at me like that before. Fear and anger and something else, all at once. Fuck you, she said quietly. Fuck you for even asking me that. She went into our bedroom and locked the door. I heard her on the phone with someone but couldn't make out the words. About 2 hours later, she came out with an overnight bag. I'm going to stay with my sister for a few days. I can't be around you right now. Emma, please, let's just talk. You've made it very clear you think I'm a liar and a cheater, so I'm leaving. And she left. That was 6 hours ago. She's not answering my calls or texts. I tried calling her sister Jess to make sure Emma had gotten there safely. Jess picked up and immediately came at me. What the fuck did you do to her? She's here crying her eyes out. I just need to understand the timeline of, you're calling my sister a liar when she's pregnant with your baby? I'm not. Did she tell you I was in Florida in February? A pause. What does that have to do with anything? She says she's 8 weeks pregnant. I was gone for all of February and half of March. A longer pause. Well, maybe she's not exactly 8 weeks. Maybe it's more like 6. She probably just miscalculated. Has she had an ultrasound yet? Been to a doctor? I don't know. That's between her and her doctor. You need to apologize and stop being paranoid. Jess hung up. So now I'm sitting alone in our apartment, wondering if I just destroyed my relationship over nothing, or if my gut has been right this whole time. I drove around for a while, not really going anywhere. I ended up at a 24-hour diner with a cup of coffee, trying to figure out what to do. That's when I remembered. Emma has her location shared with me on her phone. We set it up a long time ago after she got a flat tire on the highway and couldn't describe exactly where she was. I had honestly forgotten about it. I pulled up the app. Her location was active. She wasn't at Jess's apartment. She was at an address about 30 minutes away in a part of town I didn't recognize. I know I shouldn't have gone. I know how it looks, but I got in my car and drove to the address. It was a condo complex, newer building, nice area. Emma's car was in the parking lot. I sat there for probably 20 minutes trying to decide what to do. Finally, I texted her. I know you're not at Jess's. Where are you? The typing bubbles appeared immediately, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, how do you know that? Your location is on. Whose place are you at? No response for a long time. Then, this is exactly why I needed space. You're tracking me now? Emma, just tell me where you are. Please. I'm at a friend's place. Not that it's any of your business. What friend? No response. I called her. She didn't pick up. I called again. Nothing. I got out of the car. I was going to knock on every door in that complex if I had to. But I didn't have to because as I was walking toward the building, the door to one of the ground floor units opened. Emma walked out. Behind her, putting his hand on her shoulder, was a man I'd never seen before. They both froze when they saw me. Who the fuck is this? I said. Emma's face cycled through about 5 different emotions. Matt, what are you doing here? You followed me? Who is he, Emma? The man stepped forward. Tall, mid-30s, dark hair. Hey man, I think you should calm down. I'm not talking to you. Emma, who is he? She wrapped her arms around herself. This is Ryan. He's a friend. A friend. I looked at Ryan. She tell you she's pregnant? Ryan's expression changed. He looked at Emma. You told him? My stomach dropped. Told me what? Emma started crying. Matt, please, let's go home and talk about this. No, we're talking about it right here. Told me what? Ryan looked like he wanted to disappear. I think I should go back inside and let you two stay right there, I said. I looked at Emma. Is it his? She was fully sobbing. I don't know. The world just stopped. You don't know, I repeated. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. It was one time when you were in Florida. I was lonely and we ran into each other at a bar and… How do you know him? We used to work together. Before I met you, we stayed in touch. It didn't mean anything. It didn't mean anything, but you're at his place at midnight? Because you were being crazy. You were accusing me, and I didn't know where else to go. Ryan stepped back toward his door. Emma, maybe you should go with him. This is between you two. I laughed. It came out harsh. Oh, now you want to stay out of it? After you slept with my girlfriend? Matt, don't. Emma reached for my arm, but I pulled back. What date was it? What date? I don't I don't remember exactly. Yes, you do. What date? February 18th. It was a Saturday. You were in Florida. I was upset because you just called and said your trip was getting extended. February 18th. I did the math in my head. That was 9 weeks ago, almost exactly 9 weeks ago. So when you told me you were 8 weeks pregnant, I thought it might be yours. I wanted it to be yours. The timeline was close enough that. Close enough? My voice cracked. You've been lying to me for weeks. You let me think I was going to be a father, knowing this might not be mine. I didn't know. I still don't know. It could still be yours. We were together right before you left and right after you got back. If you're 8 or 9 weeks pregnant, Emma, it happened in mid-February when I wasn't there. She was crying so hard she could barely talk. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was scared and I didn't know what to do. Ryan cleared his throat. Emma, do you want me to call someone? Your sister or. Don't talk to her, I said. You've done enough. Look, I didn't know she had a boyfriend when it happened. She told me she was single. When she called me tonight and told me everything, I was just trying to help. She called you. I looked at Emma. When you left our apartment, you came straight here. She nodded, not meeting my eyes. Something clicked. How long has this been going on? We're not together. It was one time. Then why did you come here tonight instead of actually going to your sister's? Because I knew you'd look for me there, and I was right, Ryan said quietly, since March. Emma's head snapped toward him. Ryan, she deserves to know the truth, so does he. I felt the ground shift again. Since March, since I got back from Florida. Ryan nodded. She ended it a couple weeks ago when she found out about, he gestured toward her, about the pregnancy, I finished. Yeah. I looked at Emma. She was staring at the pavement, tears running down her face. So let me get this straight, I said. My voice sounded strange, like it belonged to someone else. You slept with him while I was in Florida. You kept seeing him after I came back. You got pregnant, probably with his kid. And then you thought you could just, what, trick me into raising it? It's not like that. Then tell me what it is like. Explain it to me. I love you. I want to be with you. Ryan was a mistake. You kept seeing him for 2 months. I was confused. I didn't know what I wanted. And now? Do you know now? She looked between me and Ryan. She didn't answer. That was answer enough. I walked back to my car. Emma followed, grabbing my arm. Matt, please don't leave like this. Let's talk. Let's figure this out. I pulled my arm free. There's nothing to figure out. We're done. Matt, I'll pack your things and you can pick them up this weekend. Don't come by when I'm home. I got in my car and drove away. In the mirror, I could see her standing in the parking lot and Ryan walking toward her. I drove home on autopilot. Hi there. If you made it so far, consider dropping a like and maybe subscribing. Thanks, and have a nice one.